Today we're going to look at why Christians hide in the church basement. Christians have been so put off by various groups taking their stand on social issues and declaring their rights. And I get why they're put off and why they're bashful and why they become standoffish. See, if we're not careful, we ourselves become like that, and we let our rights get in our way of service to God. This issue of rights becomes a divider between two factions of Christians. The one group joins in with the rest of the world and becomes very vocal and sometimes obnoxious. And the second group, well, they take solace in the church basement, and they replace action with prayer. And quite often they also add verbal resentment for others who are doing something. Neither group accomplishes a clear witness for Jesus Christ. The first group is no better than the rest of the world, the other special interest groups. They're jumping up and down for their rights, and they become filled with rage, and they become very angry when they're not listened to. The first group is no different than any other special interest group. The second group, well, they're not seen at all. They think that by complaining to each other, they're making a difference. Well, they're not. And they think that action can be replaced by prayer. Prayer has never been meant to replace action. In fact, it's supposed to enhance and empower action, not replace it. Think of a couple stories. One in the Old Testament, David and Goliath. What if David came onto the scene and saw what was going on, and there's Goliath the Philistine, and he's making fun and he's threatening the Israelites. What if he just said, hey, boys, let's all get together and let's have a prayer meeting until that giant is defeated? He didn't do that. He was already a man of prayer. He didn't have to say, let's sit there and pray about it. He's already prayed up and empowered up. It's time for action. So yes, we're to pray without ceasing, but we also have to act, and act in a big way. So what's the solution? Change the way you think. I'm not saying change what you think. Change the way you think. Don't focus on your rights, because that's the divider. That's what causes somebody to either fight or to hide. Change the way you think. Don't look at your rights. Look at your responsibilities. You see, rights are selfish. They're all about you, your right, what you can do. And that's why when groups get together and they're filled with that kind of a pride, they're fighting for their rights. What Christians are called to do is fight for the responsibilities God's given you. That is not selfish, it's selfless. It causes you to act, in a loving way, looking at the big picture, not looking at you. And it'll also cause you to be in there for the long run. You won't be hiding in the church basement trying to replace action with prayer and making up excuses and being resentful. And you won't be the other type either that joins in with the rest of the world and be shaking their fists and fighting for their rights. Rather, you're looking at your responsibility. So get back into the Bible, find out what God wants you to do, wants us to do as Christians, to have that, be that salt to the earth, and see that we have a responsibility. But do not hide in the church basement, and do not take up the placards and start protesting like the world. That's not what Christ called us to do. Mike McDonald, legacy.com.